What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Pepe today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. The last time that we talked about Pepe, I was saying that I thought we'd have a bit of a drop, right? And that was basically at the top, right? Whenever Pepe listed on Coinbase, let's just look Pepe USD Coinbase. What it was back, it wasn't here. It was like back literally at the beginning of this month. And when was my last Pepe video? Let's just see. Pepe fresh Coinbase listings, December 13th. So December 13th, which would have been here. I know I was saying that I was expecting some kind of a dump for Pepe and for all those fresh meme coins that came out. And the reason why is because they just came out on Coinbase. Nothing, or it's very rare. I would say 95% of the coins, you guys, that get listed on Coinbase dump at some point. They dump at some point. And oftentimes you see a 60% dump or more. Right, and that 50%, that's not that bad for a Coinbase listing. I do think that was it. I don't think that it drops any more than that. I think that you've got higher to go, Pepe. But you know, I definitely was expecting that you could see lower prices than that. Right, that could have been a very dramatic fall, and who's to say that you don't go lower? But I personally don't think that you do go lower. Let's look at a different chart though that's not on Coinbase here. Pepe USD on crypto, maybe. Yeah, the all-time history chart here. So if we look at this on a weekly basis, you can just see Pepe's got a very bullish chart, man. Very bullish chart. What you did, right? You got listed on Coinbase up here. You had your sell-off, and now you're coming back up. You're wicking a little bit. What you did was you found support on this weekly closing high. You broke out. You consolidated. You back tested for support. I'm assuming now you're going to continue with the move. What's the move? Well, this was the beginning of it. This was your intermission. Here's going to be your final act, right? You're going to move up. And I say final act. Who's to say if that's like the end of the cycle? But I just mean the end of this move, like how, you know, here is your move. Here's your intermission. Here is your final act, right? That's the same kind of idea there. So, however, this one, it could be a larger move than this. It could be a smaller move. It could be the same exact size. Let's see if we can figure that out. So if we look at the high here to the low of our most recent move, you pulled all the way up to your 1414, went just above it, and then came back down, found support on the 886. It's beautiful. We see that all the time. Generally speaking, whenever you move into this zone, you expect to find support in this zone, right? The lower you are here, the more likely you are to hit the 886. The higher you are, the more likely you are to find support at the 100 level. So it makes sense. Everything you're doing, very classic stuff, very beautiful stuff. The minimum target based off of what you do, if you were to confirm this as a low and you were to move higher, the minimum target from here would be 40335, right? That's just the next fib up. That's the 1618 golden extension. So you very well could find resistance there. If we place a high to low here, your 1272, your relative 1272 is right there at the golden extension. So don't be surprised if when you move up from here, you might find resistance around 33.5 cents, 35.5 cents, maybe for a day, maybe for a week, maybe for a little bit, right? And that might cascade you down to about 27 cents back at this area of resistance that you just had to find support. It's very common. First and foremost, I just want to say again, from this high to this low, the 1272 is right at this 1618. I'm going to delete this here, okay? So it's at that 1618. It's very common when you're being productive as you are. You're definitely being productive throughout this whole fib range here. When you move up, it's very common to kind of stair step. You might find resistance here, but that's not your stopping point for this overall move, right? You might find resistance at the 1618, quickly move back to the 1414 for support, and finish the move off at the 1886, right? Something like that. And I would expect if you saw something like this, it wouldn't take as much time as like this did, right? It would be a very like quick kind of shakeout, volatile move, right? But all I'm getting at is the minimum target. You're at 40174 right now. Your minimum target by the end of January, because that's what I'm thinking. A lot of cryptos are gonna top off, or at least find a more momentary high than what we've just had. You might find a high that brings us about a consolidation phase that lasts about a month, maybe a month and a half or so, but nothing longer than that is kind of what I'm anticipating, right? In other words, right, I think we top off in January. By the end of February, we could expect to start moving up again, if not very early March, right? Start moving up again, and then we'll probably have another top off in April, May time is what I'm thinking. End of April, early May. That's kind of my assumption, right? Just for a path forward there. But end of January, minimum target, you're at 40174. Minimum target would be 40335. And you absolutely could go a little bit higher as well. The maximum target I would give you is probably up in this area at about 405 to 4044. I can't see you going too much higher. I suppose it's possible, but I don't think you're going to do that, right? If we look at the current price, Let's just look at this thing on CoinGecko real quick. Pepe, not OEPE, Pepe. Come on, Pepe. $7.3 billion, 7.3. So I mean that puts you at about like 15 billion basically, like right at that 1618. Very doable. Yeah, still doable. I don't know. You're dealing with higher market caps, obviously, the higher up you go. And like when I say higher market caps, I'm talking about tens of billions of dollars for a meme coin that just came out in its first cycle. So we're definitely pushing the limits of how high Pepe can go. And I don't think that by the end of January, Pepe's done growing and that's its cycle ending high. So I would assume it grows further, right? Implying that I don't think you're going to make a move right now. You're at 7 billion. I don't think you're going to make a move right now that takes you to $70 billion, because where are you going to go from that by the end of the cycle? I don't believe Pepe will get to $100 billion this cycle. I don't believe that. Maybe 70, maybe 80, maybe only 60, right? But if you do that now, what's going to be left for the rest of the cycle? So I really do think the highest you could go would be 4045 to 4005. Something between, if we really had to identify a range, it'd be between like 4033 to 4005. Something like that is kind of what I would expect by the end of January. And, you know, if we draw this move here, if you kind of have this overall move here, consolidation phase, whatever, if we were to mimic that based off this low, I mean, that takes you like right there, man. It literally would take you to that exact area. So maybe we do something like that. It's hard to say. Looking at the weekly RSI, you were overbought. You cooled way the hell off. Yes, I get it. You have bearish divergence, right? High here, lower high, but you don't. I wouldn't consider this. I wouldn't think that this is bearish divergence in relation to this, right? Because it's a higher high compared to this, right? It's a higher high compared to that down there. And this is not bearish divergence where you have higher highs coming in and higher highs there. It's not bearish divergence. So I don't think it has full bearish divergence. It has that look, but you've already pulled back. You've already pulled back to where this phase of divergence would be from these highs. I don't think you're going to go lower. I think that was it for Pepe. If you do go lower, if I'm wrong, maybe the lowest you go is like 508, and that target could be on the table. But with how you're bouncing here, I don't see it happening. I really like that you're finding support on this 886. I think it looks very, very healthy, if anything. So I like the weekly RSI as a whole. You got overbought, now you're not. You've got these higher lows coming in. You're spending most of your time above the 50 area. This is a very dominant weekly RSI. Tells me that you're going to continue moving up. Absolutely, no doubt. I want to look at Pepe on the ribbons here real quick. Pepe USD. Not the monthly because it doesn't have enough time. But yeah, weekly, look at that. Beautiful. You just tipped the ribbon right there. Beautiful move. You tipped the ribbon here, and look at what you did, right? Actually, a very good comparison here, right? Initial move up, intermission, final act. That's what I was calling it earlier. Your intermission tipped right here, and that was the exact move that we were comparing for what we're doing now, right? Initial move, intermission, right? You tipped at the ribbon, final act from there. And I don't know, if you were to go up and do the same kind of extension that you saw last time from a high to low, that took you to the 1414. From this high to that low, your 1414 would be 4037, right? And the minimum target that we had was like 4033. So that lines up there as well. So that's nice. Anyways, guys, I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. I just want to look at the ribbon real quick. It looks bullish. Daily ribbon looks bullish too. Very much it does look bullish, actually. Weekly ribbon looks bullish as well. It would be nice. I think the goal for the daily would be to get prices to close above 402. Get prices to close above 402, and that'll be good. If you can't do that within the next week, that would look bad, but I assume you will probably start doing that within the next week. Your daily RSI near the oversold zone, higher lows overall, whatever. I mean, you're very close. Your low in this RSI is very close to this low over here in price, right? But your lows are nowhere near each other. It's not hidden bullish divergence, but again, you're very low in your RSI while you've been building higher lows in your price here. Even off of your relative low here from a high or a low to a high, tipping the 1272 area, getting back up here, it looks really nice. I think that you look good. I really think that you want to move up from here, man. I think so. And I'm going to look at the 4 hour real quick. The 4 hour suggests that you could go a little lower first. You're at 4017 right now. You could go a little bit lower first, but maybe like down to 40165. Maybe a little lower than that, but I don't think you go lower than this low. I think truthfully you do continue to move up out of here. So we're just waiting on that, man. That's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.